Welcome to Alvin channel. For today's video we will talk about 7 types of architects and what they do. What do architects do? Architecture is one of those fields that include a wide variety of career options, owing to the several topics that fall under its domain. Architects work on scales starting from a small room in a house to an entire city. They design, develop, present, and supervise all sorts of projects. Their knowledge, design skills, and artistic sense make them capable of approaching other paths like graphic design, product design, or even game design. Here are 8 types of architecture students. Which one are you? During our studies, we spend so much time in architecture school that it becomes our second home. We interact with our colleagues on a daily basis and under a lot of pressure when the deadline comes, so forming a certain opinion for each one of them is almost inevitable. Some become our friends and work partners, others we can't help but admire their dedication to architecture, and a few when we meet them, we change paths. For better or for worse, people like labeling other people with certain characteristics. Can you identify yourself in one of the following types of architecture student? 1. The all-nighter. For this type of architecture student, sleep is for the weak. You will spot them by the black circles underneath their eyes and a cup of coffee always in their hand. They are usually the most ambitious students that don't want to waste a single minute of their day and night without working. Our studio culture has glorified the image of the self-suffering architect. But is it healthy? Is it worth it? Although theoretically with less sleep you gain working hours, productivity and creativity tend to decrease during the night hours. Even the strongest organism needs 6 to 7 hours of sleep to reboot and function properly, and the best time to do that is during the night. A project can be completed successfully with better time management, so use your bedroom. 2. The technology geek. This is the student with a tablet in one hand and the latest technology smartphone on the other while sitting in front of the computer. They know everything about new applications and design programs, and they are an expert if you want advice for some kind of hardware. They usually have the best visualization and rendering skills too. Parametric design is their favorite field of architecture, and their house is full of 3D printed objects. They may even own a 3D printer. However, technological skills don't guarantee skills in design or talent. Gadgets and computers are just tools to facilitate the design process, and without the right concept, your project won't stand out. A pencil and a paper can be powerful tools too if the idea is strong. 3. The Space Invader. You will notice them anyway. They will make sure to show off their work in every way possible. They make the biggest models, the longest plans, and the noisiest presentations. They also go the first-name basis with famous architects, Zaha, Mies, Frank. They may be passionate about architecture, but their competitive character leaves no space for cooperation and teamwork. Ambition is good, but architecture is an interdisciplinary field and needs communication skills and respect for other people's projects and efforts. 4. The usual team. Since the first year of school, they will do every project together. 2 brains are better than 1 in the creative process, and usually, they are a very powerful architectural duo, as well as best friends. When you have someone to always question your design decisions, you stay in vigilance and build a more solid concept, having thought everything twice. In this kind of collaborations, you can easily spot the influence one partner has to the other, and with the right balance of mutual dependency, the team can become a creative force. 5. The quiet soldier. This kind of types of architecture student makes a sudden appearance at the end of the semester when it's time for the final project presentations. The rest of the days he is the invisible power, working alone on a tight schedule away from the indiscreet eyes of his colleagues. He may be the most dedicated and organized student, but he doesn't want to show off. He may even get pleasure from the lack of visibility and social life. Although most of the times creative minds are loners, it is important to remember that in professional life, networking and communication skills are of great importance. There's nothing more productive than sharing ideas along with some healthy criticism. 6. The procrastinator. Although this type of students may be of a creative first material, when it comes to deadlines and schedules they seem to keep postponing the actual working process. Suddenly everything is more interesting than the architecture studio, parties, TV series, sports, Facebook. Up to a certain point, this is pretty normal considering the young of age we are supposed to be committed to long working hours on a daily basis. However, if we want to avoid the last-minute breakdown and creative block as the deadline approaches, a to-do list is the best thing to go with. This way we can balance productive hours with recreation and fun. 7. The always questioning student. You will find this almost annoying student attending every single class in the School of Architecture. They raise their hand every once in a while to ask a question or make a comment even at the last minute of a lecture. Although effective questions produce a better quality lesson and it's a way to improve our critical thinking, overdoing it can distract other students and destroy the flow of the class. Curiosity is a good thing as long as it is in healthy boundaries and not in terms of seeking attention. 8. The architect's offspring. They have a long architect bloodline that makes them believe they will inherit the archi gene, and sometimes, they just might. It's the support system this student has at home that helps them succeed, and it is the same system that puts enough pressure to get them into a field they might not be interested in the first place. Sometimes we are influenced by our family more than we tend to believe, in a way that our parents' dreams subconsciously become ours too. So before deciding to become an architect because one or both of your parents are, make sure that this is your true call and not just an inherited wish. An architect can opt to be a jack of all trades or just specialize, and here we give you a brief on the 7 types of architects you are likely to be one of, at some point in your career. But before that, let me give you 10 lessons I learned after architecture school. 10 lessons I learned after architecture school. Architecture is a profession of passion. To some, the decision to be an architect is a very difficult one. The long duration of the study, the search for a job after, play an essential part in the decision. It requires determination, hard work, and a passion for the subject matter that goes beyond normal curiosity. If, like me, you survived your university years with a higher level of curiosity and a stronger passion for architecture, you might have considered what next. Months of portfolio edits, rejections, and interviews that seem to go nowhere, will eventually secure you a job. It will take a few tries to navigate the workplace. Mistakes and failings might occupy you. Flaws are necessary. It has taken me years of failing, asking questions and reading on the subject to understand this. I had envisioned a different pace of my personal development, and failing was hard to take. I had to learn to cope and to use them as catalyzers of future success. This is an amalgamation of years of advice, research and personal epiphanies. In talking to friends and people within and outside the profession, I have compiled this, as only a guide to help you get through your architectural practice. I want to begin with what I believe is the most important point. 1. Networking. The world of architecture is hidden to all outside its scope. To be successful, it is important to build a community around you. So talk to people about what you do, listen to them when they speak about their professions, and most of all, be curious. Take every chance to go to and to be part of networking events. It is important for your progress to collect new contacts. Take every opportunity to make new friends, in all walks of life. You never know who is next to you. 2. Communication. The human being remains the center of most architectural philosophies. As such, communication is key. Learn therefore how to communicate to peers, superiors, and most importantly, clients. In meetings, be confident. Where you believe your input can create, enhance or elevate a solution, find the right manner of voicing them. Do not be timid but rather a part of the office's conversations. Lastly, keep in touch with digital visualization innovation. 3. Stand out. In the office, you can be stuck in a routine, doing the same thing over and over again. If your aspirations are beyond the scope of that horizon, then seek it. Show your employer your potential and effectiveness. If your interest lays within green technology, sustainability or BIM, immerse yourself in it. Become an expert. Learn all you can about the subject, take the seminars, subscribe to the relevant magazines or journals and become the go-to person for information and expertise in that chosen area. 4. Sketch. A designer's most effective skill is the ability to think through sketches. If you were to have a look at the greats, from the likes of Palladio to the recently departed Zaha Hadid, you might see, they all sketched, all drew. In your arsenal is a tool that is most ignored in lure of the accurate possibilities of technology. But I urge you to look at the world through your sketches. Analyze buildings, places and anything that intrigue you, through your own sketches. Develop your skill, your own personal style. Most importantly, get yourself a sketchbook. An architect should go nowhere without his/her sketchbook and a pencil or two. 5. Work ethic. Okay, we have all seen the memes, showing architects not sleeping, shabby and exhausted. To be effective, you have to put in the hours. You will work long hours, and yes, you will have some all-nighters. All I can say is, show your passion, work effectively and you would be able to demand your worth. It would be arduous, but ultimately it will be worth it. 6. Educate yourself. Yes. You have finished your degree program, completed your professional studies. It doesn't end there, unfortunately. Knowledge is infinite. As designers of such things as space, we must keep hold of education. In the professional setting, there are laws that you must be up to date with. Above that, acquire knowledge for your own benefit. I beseech you, keep informed, read more, get the TED app, learn from the success and failures of others. 7. Mentorship. Simply put, find yourself a mentor, within or without your place of work. Someone to look up to give you advice when needed and a push when required. On the other side of the coin, become a mentor yourself. Share your knowledge with someone else. Besides, it forces you to learn some more, so you can build on your own knowledge. 8. Learn the business of architecture. While studying, we seek the best design approaches, best software etc. We forget to ask a simple question: how does the business of architecture work? Learn how the business works, how to get and keep clients, when and where we get paid, learn of tendering and all the other aspects of running an effective office. 9. Embrace your failures. The certainty is, within the course of your professional career, you are going to fail. This is an inevitable truth. So learn to acquire wisdom from your failures. I remember a lecturer of mine, telling us never to use the word problem when it came to our designs. Rather, he asked us to see them as opportunities. See your failures in the same light, from your failings find future triumph. 10. Lastly, keep your eye on the prize. It is imperative to remember why you entered into this profession. Maybe you wish to change the world, wish to see your skyscraper as part of the London or New York skyline, or maybe you want to diminish the carbon footprint of architecture. Whatever your goal is, keep it at hand. Let your passion direct you. For the next few years, you will have more than a few bad days. It is even possible that you may shed some tears. This is why it is important to keep your goal in front of you, both literally and figuratively. Whenever it gets too challenging, look towards your goal, the prize. I would end by saying, on our journey to become architects, we will occasionally be unsuccessful in our endeavors. It is important to fall, that we may arise better informed and better equipped. Most of the architects we look up to have had difficult beginnings. It is imperative that you keep going and necessary to keep faith in your own abilities and capabilities. It can be strenuous, but be you. Be patient and keep pushing, for on your own merit, did you get your foot through the door. So good luck. Back to our main topic. Here are the different types of architects. 1. Residential architect. Residential buildings have come to be seemingly identical after the standardization that followed the Industrial Revolution in the past century. However, some neighborhoods still enjoy the merits of beautifully customized residences, and this where residential architects work. They deal with clients who would like to have their own customized houses designed. They take note of their spatial and functional requirements, then they start to design the plans, layouts, and elevations. They estimate the costs of materials and services, as well as the time needed to complete the construction and finishing. 2. Commercial architect. A well-designed building is aesthetically pleasing as well as functional, and the functionality varies according to the type of space that is being designed. A successful design of a commercial or public building is highly dependent on a flowing and self-guiding circulation that optimize the experience for the building users. For example, a well-designed shopping mall lets the buyers find their way and get what they need easily, without getting lost or walking more than they should. Commercial architects are supposed to make that happen. They specialize in non-residential buildings, and this specialization requires engineering, construction, and artistic skills. It also requires full awareness of building codes, safety regulations, and construction costs. 3. Interior designer. Designing and styling the interior of an apartment, an office, or a restaurant requires artistic sense and technical knowledge. Interior designers have a deep knowledge of materials, fabrics, colors, and basics of furniture design. Some architects prefer to work on the large scale and not to get involved with such details, while others, like the pioneer Frank Lloyd Wright, prefer to do the interior design for their own projects. 4. Green design architect. With the recent changes in climate and the remarkable decline in non-renewable energy resources, the role of green design architects has become essential. Green design architects are responsible for making eco-friendly and energy-efficient architectural designs. They continuously work on innovating effective green design methods that leave a minimal impact on the environment. These architects should be knowledgeable in fields like aerodynamics, sun, and shading, as well as properties of materials. 5. Landscape architect. Landscape architecture is concerned with outdoor spaces like parks, gardens, neighborhoods, campuses, and public spaces. Landscape architects design these spaces to be efficient, engaging, and harmonious with the environment. They decide the locations for buildings, walkways, greenery, and other hardscape elements accordingly. Landscape architects also choose the materials for the walkways and the types of trees and shrubs for the green areas, and so they need to have a background in the science of urban horticulture. They should be aware of the suitable materials and plants for different climates and uses. 6. Urban designer. Urban design is a broad subject that employs other specializations like building architecture, landscape design, and green design. It deals with the scales of neighborhoods, districts, and cities. Urban designers are in charge of grouping buildings, designing nodes, paths, and street networks. So, they give the city its shape and sense of order. They can design cities from scratch or develop existing ones. Urban designers additionally face a wider range of issues that have to do with the economy, politics, and culture. They, also, have to be in touch with the communities they serve who are their actual clients. 7. Industrial architect. The architecture of an industrial facility can be vital to its functionality. They need a suitable envelope that aids the flow of the industrial process taking place inside, and that is what industrial architects specialize in. They fully understand the different industrial processes, and accordingly, design efficient and functional buildings that can hold them. Finding your way. Studying architecture opens the door to many paths which all require hard work, dedication, and a touch of creativity. Deciding on one of them may not be easy. Trial and error is one way to do it, or you can consult with teachers and practitioners. If you are one of those who has always known exactly what they want, then consider yourself lucky. I hope this video helps you. Please don't forget to like, comment your suggestion and opinion, share, and subscribe. Kindly click also the notification bell so you will be notified for my next upload video. Thank you for watching.